Today, back to the basics, we're talking about door knocking. Everybody gets a little bit, door knocking. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Everybody wants to go meet clients. That's the whole point of being in real estate. You need to get in front of clients. I understand it's easy to pick up the phone and make cold calls, to send a letter. All right, I don't have to worry about it. Door knocking sounds a little In today's video, I'm gonna give you tips, tricks. Don't overthink it. Door knocking's easy and it works. Stay tuned. In today's video, we're talking about door knocking, and I know what you're thinking right now. I don't want to door knock. I don't want to get in the car. It's scary. It's intimidating. Who knows what they're going to say? People are going to slam the door on me. Well, guess what? When you pick up the phone, what do they say? They tell you to F off 99% of the time. They hang up on you. What happens when you write a letter? Nobody says anything back to you. What if you send an email? Nobody says anything. What I'm telling you is there's nothing scary about door knocking. Nothing is going to happen. It's easy and it's a great way to get in front of the clients. What do all real estate agents want to do? They want to get in front of clients. Well, guess what? When you go door knocking, you're in front of them. You've already covered that step. You don't need to set up a date. You're already there. There's no reason to not door knock, especially with how great the weather is and the time of the year. So, do it strategically when you're not freezing. But what I'm saying is door knocking costs nothing, maybe a little bit of gas. You knock on the door, you push the button, and I know the first thing you're thinking about is, what do I say? Or what is going to happen? I'm going to give you a few tricks and tips right now to explain some things that you can do on door knocking. The first thing is, how do you pick the neighborhood? Sometimes it might be a client that wants to move into that neighborhood. Sometimes it's client demand. You might have a lot of clients getting into a certain area. Sometimes it's the school district or the park or amenities, or it might be a really good first-time home buyer, right? So there's a lot of variables that goes into it. I don't want you to overthink this. Keep it simple. You probably don't want to door knock in something that's way out of your price range that you normally work in. And you also don't want to door knock in neighborhoods where you feel uncomfortable with. So find a spot you feel super comfortable with, and then sometimes it's based on demand. The next thing I want to tell you is know the values of that neighborhood. What I mean is when you knock on the door and they answer, which does happen actually a lot, that you want to make sure you understand and explain the benefits of why they need to sell the house in today's market. Or maybe you tell them that you have a client that's looking to move in the neighborhood and you can explain a little bit about that client. Sometimes you could even talk about if they want to bring a friend or family member into that neighborhood, you could be the expert that helps them get their friend or family member moved into that neighborhood. So there's a few different avenues you can bring up there, but you really want to make sure you understand the value of the house. So what is the reason to sell the house? It might be because the values have gone up $72,000 in the last 5 years. Give them a number. Don't give them a percentage. That's not sexy. Nobody wants to hear you can gain 22%. Nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear I want to gain $93,000 in my checking account. That's what's going to get somebody motivated and confident. So know the values of the neighborhoods, what's selling, what's not selling. It's super easy to pull up on MLS, look like the expert, and explain a few benefits of the value of the house. What's the right time or the right day to go, right? There's no right answer because, again, everybody lives different lives. Some people work from home, some people work nights, some people don't work, some people work during the day, some people only work in the afternoons, right? So there's never a great specific day or time. I think a really good example would be walking a neighborhood in the middle of the afternoon and then also checking out on the weekend. So go back to the same neighborhood. And if you talk to somebody, you can just mark it off and know that you've already been there. So you're not going to re-knock on doors where they answered, right? It's pretty easy, unless you go in a neighborhood and you knock on 3,000 doors or something like that. So try to stay somewhere small so you can remember which places, but don't overthink the date and time. Honestly, keep it simple. Do one in the afternoon and then do one on the weekend. You probably don't want to do something in the evening because probably people are eating unless it's after dinner. So afternoon's a little bit better. The last thing I want to leave you with is prepare to leave something behind in each house. Whether you talk to the client, you want to leave them something to remember you by, of course. If you don't talk to the client, I want you to leave something on their doorstep, in their door, something they can have. Do not touch their mailbox. It's actually illegal, so don't do that. But you want to make sure that there's something you leave behind, a call to action for the client, whether you spoke with them or not. You need to be memorable. Again, they're talking to real estate agents on the phone, they're getting letters in the mail, but more than likely they haven't been door knocked in a while. So leave something behind that they'll remember and they'll call you when they're ready to go. Back to the basics, door knocking. Again, don't overthink it. The whole point is to get in front of clients. What's the worst thing that can happen? They answer the door and you talk to them, all right? So keep it very simple, don't overthink it. Find a neighborhood, pick a date and time, test it out, knock on the doors. Last thing I want to tell you is be yourself, all right? People want to work with other people. People work with the personality that they like. So just be yourself. You don't need to be anybody else. Give them a little bit of market knowledge, explain why you're out there door knocking, be yourself, be kind, leave something behind, and they're going to work with you. They may not that day, but in the future, they're going to think about you. I'm Colby Sway with Inspiring Agent. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you soon.